Hello and welcome to another GoldMine 101, our regular series of short presentations giving you hints and tips for getting the most out of GoldMine CRM. And in this session, I'm going to cover some best practices around linked documents to make your GoldMine system easier and faster to use. So hello, I'm Tim Wilmot and my company, Wizard Systems, we're a specialist CRM solutions provider who help out primarily small and mid-sized organizations improve their sales productivity, marketing, and customer service through the use of simple and affordable software solutions like GoldMine. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. Got a question? Pop that into the question box in your meeting control panel, and we'll have a little Q&A session at the end. We'll be done in about 10 minutes, quarter of an hour or so, just really an overview of best practices and some tips and tricks around linked documents. Okay, just before we dive in there, a bit more information about Wizard. I think there's a few on the call here live who may not be too aware of us, but we're a long-standing provider of GoldMine and other leading CRM solutions, and we provide the complete package around GoldMine, upgrades, implementation, add-ons, training as well, any kind of training that you want, any kind of level, and all the ongoing support as well. Okay, so let's get into GoldMine. I'm going to feature or focus on the links tab in GoldMine. Of course, there are many areas in GoldMine where we can attach files. For example, opportunities, projects, the knowledge base, to name but a few. But the primary area is the links tab, the filing cabinet in GoldMine. And I want to cover three things here. My colleague Stuart, who's on the call as well, will dive in if I've forgotten anything. Stuart's a bit more technical than me. But I want to focus on three areas. First of all, some tips and best practices around the links tab and email. So that links tab, you can put literally any file you want in there. I mean, there's no limit. And you're creating basically little links to a file somewhere on your device or network. Now, a common thing that we sometimes find people doing is that when they are receiving emails from customers, there's an option in GoldMine that may be on by default. It may be on in your system right now, but if you get an attachment to an email, a link will be created automatically to that attachment. So you can imagine the very nature of emails over time, getting a humongous amount of emails, all of these files, it's going to stack up that links tab well and truly in a short space of time. So a good practice is as follows. A good tip for your email linked documents attachments is as follows. Go to your GoldMine options and click on your email tab and more options. Then your retrieval tab on your email options and glance down here in this section here, this attachments directory. So that's where our as a company, us as a team, that's where our files are going to go. And there's 4 checkboxes below that. This is the dangerous one down here. Save attachments as linked documents. If you have that ticked, literally this user, and if it's the same for other users, all of those files are going to be referenced there. And it could be, I mean, it might be important to you. It may be, you could argue that's really important for you. But for most people, we find it's not required, and it can throttle and choke your GoldMine links tab with all those files and signature files and company logos and all the rest of the malarkey that comes with it. Anyway, the 3 options above that, keep those ticked. Why? Because we found it with our experience, that's going to make your system faster to search for any files. Stuart, do you want to be a bit more technical, add a bit of icing to the cake on that one?
Okay. The reason that we suggest those three options are selected is uh, the system uses those four settings. So the attachments directory, the folder by user, the folder by year, and then the folder by month. And it uses those not within GoldMine, but within the Windows directory on the server. So Windows by nature is really quick at searching folders. It's not quick at searching tens of thousands of files. I mean, GoldMine, if you've got a file with the same name, GoldMine renames it. So you could imagine that your inbox, your attachment folder, could have thousands of documents, all called image one dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if you have those three options ticked, user, year, month, then depending on what you're looking at or what you've opened, GoldMine only has to go into that final option. So it will search the attached folder, the user folder, the year, and the month. And so when you open an email, it only has to go into that. You see that Tim's there, and that's 2016. That's a user there, 2016 for January. But there's only 480. So GoldMine itself, using the Windows search engine, only had to scan 480 documents to find the right one to open when you clicked on the link.
Yeah, so I told you Stuart's far more technical than me. Yeah, thanks, Stuart. Yeah, so have a check of those options on your own GoldMine system after this call. Right, next, attaching files, manually attaching files to your links tab. We recommend the drag and drop method. So you have your Windows Explorer window, folder displayed, appropriately resized, and then holding down the left-hand mouse button, selecting file, holding down the left-hand mouse button, drag and drop that over your links tab, release the left-hand mouse button. Up comes a little window, little dialog box prompting now for the document. The important thing is we've got that path already put in there. It's also good practice to pop in some notes as well on those really important documents, just so that as you're going through them or sharing with colleagues, I mean, that's the other thing about these attachments is that you're going to be improving sharing and teamwork. These attachments are uploaded to GoldMine records can easily be viewed, downloaded, edited by other GoldMine users who've got access to them in your team with appropriate access. And so that's going to really facilitate that collaboration with a group of you. Yes, so you pop in a document name there, click OK, and that's saved. Yep, so we recommend the drag and drop method. Anything to add to that, Stuart, at all on that process?
No, that's always the best way, and the reason we suggest that is that in practice, what most companies would have they would have a customer folder on the server somewhere where they would put Word documents or images, and then you drag your copy really of that document into GoldMine, and that then would almost creates the share. So on that image that Tim's got on screen at the moment, we can see that that's the F drive. So because any user that has access to our F drive would double click that file and open that file instantly. You haven't had to go and search the F drive for it and browse through all the folders. GoldMine's done the heavy lifting, and you've just created a link to it.
Yeah. Okay. Third thing I want to mention is the preview tab that you can toggle on or off or whatever it might be to preview selected files that you may have on your links tab there. And a number of different file types are supported here. We recommend turning off a few. Again, Stuart's got some extra 2 cents to add to this. Basically, those previews, they are decided or they are determined as follows. You go to Tools menu, down to Configure, and then System Settings, and then this Preview tab here. Whole long list of these different file extensions. it's good practice to uncheck, don't have ticked your Office applications, Word and Excel, particularly, possibly PDFs. What's the reason behind this, Stuart? What's our
Right.
recommendation?
Again, this is we found that this is in two parts. And this comes from our own experience as well. Microsoft used to produce free viewers for people that didn't have Word or Excel. You could download a viewer so that in years of old, you could view someone's Word document. And GoldMine used the viewer in the preview pane so that you could preview the Word document. That doesn't exist anymore. And so now GoldMine would use your installation of Word to preview that Word document. So you'd have GoldMine open, and then within GoldMine, it would open Word to preview a Word document. If that document's a large document, you've got an awful lot of processor power trying to run GoldMine and a Word document inside that. And if you imagine you've got 4 or 5 different links you're looking at, each time you do it, GoldMine has to then go and find the appropriate application to show you that image. So you might have flicked from a Word document to a spreadsheet. It then has to open Excel to preview that document for you. And we found that it just doesn't get the best out of the system ever since the viewers were turned off. And in the case of PDFs is similar, but also we found that it's really easy these days for people to put unscrupulous things in PDFs that can be triggered when you open them or when you run them. And also PDFs have the capability of being incredibly large documents. So what we suggest is that you turn the viewer to these off. But if you want more information about the document, so PDF there, if you had a PDF in the links tab that you wanted to include information, what you can do, and hopefully Tim can do this for me, if Tim was to right click on any of these links, if you go to edit, and Tim sort of mentioned this slightly, is in the notes tab, where the document might just say new quote, you could put in an awful lot more information about what this document is about, what it includes. So you don't need to preview it. It'll all be there on the note regarding that document.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, using those notes again. So that's it. Those are our top 3 around that links tab. As I say, it's quite a popular tab in GoldMine, that file income in GoldMine. And do you want to keep it? You just want to know the capabilities of it and the best ways of using it there, particularly in relation to email. Okay, well, let's just see if there's any questions around this feature. Let me just have a look. Okay, Ray, can you create a link to a web page? Yes, you can. It would say external content. Would it preview that content, Stuart, at all? Do you think a URL?
Strangely, there is an option in there to preview some HTML, but again, with 21st century insecurity, I would be wary about it trying to open something like that. But yeah, I am sure, as you just said, that is one of the preview options is HTML.
Yeah. Okay. And Warren, what's the limits? Well, there's none, because we are just creating little pointers to that file, and GoldMine is very scalable. I mean, I guess the limitation is the size of your network. We just got pointers to these, so it takes up the information in that little link, that little pointer is minuscule. It's not worth worrying about. So, some online cloud CRM systems, they will impose limits on you. It's one of the benefits of GoldMine. You're in control. It's on your own server or somebody else's server. And yeah, very scalable. So no limits there, Warren. Don't think there's one more question. Let me just check on this. Question from John. Any reason why an attachment would disappear from an email? Any reason why an attachment would disappear from an email? Why would that be? So I guess John's saying you're looking at the email 1 minute and then the attachment's there, and then maybe another minute it's not there. Do you know why that might be, Stuart?
The one that stands to mind is that the attachment is no longer in the folder on the server. So GoldMine can't reference it.
That would be the number one answer I would give to that, John. Double checking the location of that file. I mean, it's one of those classic things. You know, does that?
Tim, sorry, yeah. There is a way to check and you use the email itself. If you open the email, you have an option to preview in browser. Within the email, and if you scroll to the bottom of the web page when you've opened the email in the browser, at the bottom it will include the documented file path to that attachment, so you then know that's where GoldMine was told it was, so you can go and check.
Yeah, and I was just going to say another response to that might be, does it? If you experience this, does it relate to other users? When did it? When did it start happening? This behavior, did it work? We assume it did work, but for whatever reason, it's not on that particular email. So there you are, John. A few more pointers to it. But any further issues, please contact our friendly support help desk here at Wizard Systems. Right, I think that's all on that. Thanks to the three of you for those questions. As of November 2023, latest news for you, latest release of 2023.4. Just an advisory on this. If you use QuoteWorks, just hold off upgrading because QuoteWorks haven't released the upgrade. Normally they're quite quick on the upgrades for compatibility with latest GoldMine. So if you use QuoteWorks, just hold off on that. Await further instructions from Wizard Systems. So latest release there at 2023.4. And to get those upgrades, you've got to be on a maintenance contract. So GoldMine are fairly active on their updates and compatibility updates. You've got to be on a maintenance contract from Wizard Systems to get those updates. Now, have you been using GoldMine for some time? Would you like someone to review your CRM system and advise you on a way forwards, improvement, and so on? Are you hitting a block with GoldMine? Are you hitting some issues? Have some concerns? Please contact any of us at Wizard Systems and be happy to set up an online review. Normally it's done with an online call, Teams or Zoom. And so we can really get into the guts of your GoldMine system and advise you going forwards next 3 months, 6 months, and beyond. Now, any suggestions for future topics for these GoldMine 101, please drop us a line. Stuart at wizard-systems.com or Tim at wizard-systems.com. Love to hear from you. That's it for us on this event. We'll catch up with you on the next one. Please watch out for notification on that. There's our various areas where we put in notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up with you on the next one. Bye-bye.